Hello folks, it's Alex here, and I've just spotted this WSO by Stephen Renton called Webinar Warrior. How to run and profit from short, simple webinars without spending a dime. Which looked pretty interesting since I've done quite a few webinars myself in the past, so I thought this was worth taking a closer look at. And the idea is, imagine being able to bank $58,165 for just 60 minutes. So the idea is to bank large amounts of money in short periods of time. My assumption is that this is to do with promoting affiliate products through webinars, but I'm going to try and see if that's the case or whether it's more general. So here's the usual bunch of testimonials. Now, of course, you can't buy a product just based on testimonials, but they do give some sort of social proof that the quality is reasonably good and the guy knows what he's talking about, or the author knows what they're talking about, and it might be worth taking a closer look. So that's the basis that I use testimonials. And there's more testimonials here. I really want to try and find out more about specifically what this is about, so I'm going to skip through these testimonials. You see, webinars are powerful because they build trusts and so on. Exciting. Missing out on $1,000. So what's stopping you from doing webinars? You don't have a list. Well, actually I do. Or maybe you don't have anything to sell. Well, actually I do. Maybe you're not an expert at anything. Well, actually I am. Maybe you're not technically savvy. Well, I am. So maybe you can't afford to run them. Oh, right. Well, I probably can afford to run them, but I'm always in the market for saving money. So it's this last bullet point really that's interesting to me, because all these other bullet points are not that persuasive to me. But if I were to take this up, then I think this thing costs $10. I'm going to presumably save myself a lot more than $10 by following the advice. So I am quite interested. Promises that you'll get your first profitable webinar up and running in just 7 days or less, even though you don't have a product or a list. So I'm sort of assuming here that this is to do with joint ventures, but maybe not. So I'm interesting to follow it through to see exactly what's behind this idea. And again, for $10, it's provided there's enough, enough meat in it, then I'm willing to spend that sort of money. So Steve Renton, I think I read somewhere that he's from Scotland, so he's yet another Brit. He's become a published author on the subject of webinars with Amazon books that receive rave reviews, so that's good. He paid good money to share some of his secrets at high flyer events. Made students tens of thousands of dollars with the same tactic, so that's all looking fairly good. So it allows you to learn how to set up and run free webinars, put in huge traffic without advertising or needing your own list. Pretty much looks like joint ventures there. Convert 34% or more of your attendees. Bypass all the usual technical problems. So it looks like there's something substantial there. There's quite a long list of bullet points. 2 questions that will tell you exactly what you should be revealing. Seems to be techniques about running the webinars. There seems to be quite a lot of it as well, which is good. Techniques to put in more sales after the webinar is over. I suspect I know a lot of this. How to start a webinar creation business and make money doing all of this for other people. That's a nice idea. How to become an expert teacher, get real results for people and turn them into raving fans and buyers overnight. Slightly hyped up, but interesting to see what he says. Your 6-step summary of the entire system. Okay. Various checklists. Checklists are always good. I like checklists. Okay, that's all pretty good. You don't need to expert in the subject matter and so on and so on. He's just repeating a lot of the benefits in different forms there. More testimonials. I'm going to have a look through some of the comments, and I'll pause the video, and when I find an interesting comment I'll come back and I'll highlight it. So here's an interesting comment from Shanes, who says what Stephen is offering is over 100 pages of webinar blueprints. So it is quite substantial. It's not one of these 12-page, 14-page WSOs. We're getting 100 pages here, plus the checklist. So fairly substantial content for what seems like a good price. That's good. Here's another interesting one. How easy, difficult is it to get busy offline business owners to attend the webinars? So it looks like there might be something about offline businesses relating to the webinars there. Maybe, maybe not. But the answer is as far as how good you are at convincing people to attend. Obviously, depends on your offer, the quality of what you're offering and so on. So there's a fairly straightforward answer to that. This is quite relevant too. Does the free webinar service have an expiration date on it? And the answer is there is no expiration date as long as you get in now before they start charging in January. So I'm recording this on the 30th of December, so there's just a couple of days before the timing ends of getting in for free. So I think that's probably convinced me to get this today. Yeah, okay, I've decided I'm going to buy this, so let me, there, I'm actually going to order this now. Okay. Pay now. And I'm done. And back to the WSO, and I can click to access the purchase. And here I can just pop in my name and email address to access the members area, which I'll do now. And I just got to activate my subscription. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, here I am in my email. I click on the link to confirm the subscription. And I get, I guess, to the inevitable one-time offer. So what's this about? Let's have a look. 2 advanced systems to get even more traffic and sales from your first webinar. $37. Okay, I'm going to decide whether to get this or not now. Let me read through and see what I think. Okay, I've had a quick look at this, and it's pretty interesting. What he's offering is 2 packages. A Webinar Warrior Elite package. This is Jason Fladline's webinar pitch secrets. So real details of how to construct your webinar, what to put in it. So there's obviously going to be quite a lot of detail about the content of the webinar. So that's going to be very useful, particularly for new people. Bonus webinar mindset, offer introductory strategy. So lots of content there. Kate Buck's Twitter buzz secret. So this is how to create a buzz about your webinar beforehand using Twitter. And I know from personal experience that can work. So there's 40 hours of... Okay, you can also get 40 hours of personal assistance free for that. So a lot of content. That's all good. But really, what's most of interest there is that I can get 40 hours of support. Where was it? There's a company that's agreed as part of the special plan to offer 40 hours of dedicated hands-on help in creating your webinar. So this is an outsourcing company. Here, I made a special arrangement with a brand new professional outsourcing agency who are offering qualified, understanding, hard-working virtual assistants to help you crank out your first successful webinar. They offer 40 hours of dedicated hands-on work in creating your webinar promotional material and getting traffic for you. Now, that, I think, on its own is worth that $37. That is actually pretty good. The other stuff from Jason Fladline will be very valuable for a lot of people. Personally, it's going to take quite a long time to get through that material, so I mean, it'd be useful to have it. How long I'll spend actually going through it, I'm not sure. And similarly for Kate Buck's Twitter buzz secrets. So for a lot of people, those 2 things will be very valuable. But for me, the $37 I think is going to be worth it for the virtual assistants. 40 hours of virtual assistants work. So that's pretty good. That's less than $1 an hour for the virtual assistants. I'm going to get that as well. There, and I'm done. Now I am. And here I am, I can access my purchase. Here I am on the download page, and here I can download the Webinar Warrior download and everything else that I've got. My OTOs, JSON flatline, Twitter buzz secrets, and how I can access my 40 hours of free virtual assistant time. So I'm going to download the product now and do a quick review of it. Okay folks, well I've now bought the product and I've taken a look at it, and I went through it and I was then pleased and a little bit disappointed and then pleased again, and I'll explain why that process, why I went through that process. Here's the welcome email that Stephen sends, and it's pretty interesting to begin with because the first thing he does, apart from sending you to the download page, is give us a link to some content from his high-end training program on webinars, showing 3 case studies where Joey Smith made 25k, 40k and 100k from single webinars. Now, from the content I've seen, it's absolutely clear that beginners aren't going to get anywhere near that sort of income until they've got a lot of experience and got a lot of contacts. So don't get overexcited by those figures. It's quite a good video recording. It's about a 54-minute long video on real-world case studies, but that's going to be quite a useful case study to show how the whole thing can work in practice. I think on the forum there was one person complaining there were no case studies. Well, I think this is Stephen's answer to that. So that's the sort of introduction. Now let's go and take a look at the PDF. Okay, here it is, the Webinar Warrior, Steve Renton, and I'll just quickly look at the table of contents. So there's how to use webinars, this list of various webinar service providers and the pros and the cons of each one. Then about webinars for lead generation, this is the type of system he recommends you start with. Then how to grow your business, so when you've done your lead generation, he explains how you can develop from there and start doing summits and joint ventures and promoting affiliate products, and how to develop that even further. So actually, action workbook, how to host successful money-making webinars. So there is a lot of content on setting webinars up and getting the right approach to presenting the webinars. Basically, it's as you see up here, 108 pages of pretty solid content. Now, as I was going through this, I was looking to see where he provides guidance for people who have no lists, no way of getting traffic, and actually there wasn't anything in here, and I was a bit disappointed. However, it's in the other PDF. There's a separate PDF where Steve talks about the free webinar service provider, and it's in that PDF that he gives a very simple, surprisingly simple approach to using webinars to make money even if you haven't got a list, joint venturing with other people. And he gives a short explanation of how to do that, which actually is all you need. It is stupidly simple, really. Nothing particularly startling, but should be pretty effective for people starting from scratch. And I've taken a look at the system that provides free webinars, and I've registered myself, and it does look pretty good, I have to say. It's a system that is currently in beta. I'm not really sure that they're going to start charging in January, to be honest. It wasn't clear from the website that they were going to do that. But they are in beta stage, and I guess that once they come out of beta they will start charging, so it could be at any time that they make that switch. So my personal recommendation would be even just to get access to that website and register for free to be able to run webinars where you can get up to 50 people on a webinar and without any charge. It looks pretty professional. I obviously haven't tried it out yet, and this PDF itself looks good. There's good solid content in there, particularly for people who are new to setting up webinars and running them. So a great introduction. And finally, if you want to go for the one-time offer, like I said, I haven't looked at the products that come with the one-time offer, but I think it's great value just to get the 40 hours of virtual support. It'll give you contact with an agency that provides virtual assistance, and just as a way of taking a step into that field as well, it's a good approach because they'll talk to you and find out your needs. So a good investment, I would think, as a way to start the year. Okay, that's the end of my review. Recommend you go and take a look at this page. Just click the link in my email, or if you're watching this on YouTube, click on the link in the description section. So thanks for your time. Look forward to communicating with you more in 2012. Bye bye for now.